We live in a society where instead of revealing who we are, we actually reveal more about what we do. It's almost as if we're standing behind a wall of all of our success and our achievements and our careers. And believe me, on a Monday morning when I'm getting feedback from the dates I put together, there is nothing more heartbreaking than hearing a man say to me about a great woman I introduced him to, "I didn't feel anything. I didn't get in. I mean, sure, she's impressive, and she's phenomenal. If I wanted to hire the new VP of my company, I'd hire her." And oftentimes, I can't get that man and that woman to a second date no matter how hard I try. So why do we do this? I think it's because we're taught that that's what matters most. But it's not when it comes to relationships. So we all think, when my career gets there and when this happens, my universe is going to get bigger, so therefore I'm going to be able to meet more people. It actually sometimes can have the adverse effect on your personal life, because sometimes when you get a public life, your personal circle, your small circle of intimate friends, that core group of people that you really reveal and share with, actually gets smaller. So right now, everybody in this room, right, we all have people that we share with. These are the people that know us so well, they can read us like a book. They know who we are, they know our vulnerabilities, they know our stories. They've seen us at our best, they've seen us at our worst. And it's usually a group of maybe a handful of women, if you can count them on one hand or both, and your family. Your family knows you extremely well. So here's my question to you. What do those people in your core group of friends and family know about you that the rest of us will never get to know? Or, at least in the world of dating, what are the men that you're meeting, what are they not seeing in you right away? Because you know what we do when we're asked about ourselves, especially on a date, we're going to say, well, that's for a later time. When I know you better, I'll share what happened. If this relationship gets off the ground, I'll share myself. But what if that next time never happens? What if there's not another conversation? What if there's not a second date? What if there's not a matchmaker swinging the bat for you and saying, go out with her again, I promise, you're going to see something else there? That's a missed opportunity to create an incredible and profound and deep connection. Wouldn't you agree? So before we talk about vulnerability and what it is, let's talk about what it isn't, because I think that is what scares people. Because somehow, somewhere along the way, vulnerability got a bad rap. It's a bad negative word. So let's talk about what it isn't. Vulnerability is not going on ad nauseum about all of your old war wounds and how your ex hurt you and the terrible boss that you work for. It's not your moment-to-moment pain and grief. And despite what you think, it's actually not about oversharing, because oversharing is actually singular. It's a singular act. It's not about two people. What vulnerability really is, it's your ability to be honest. It's your honesty at its highest level. Your ability to be beautifully transparent without judgment of yourself, your emotions, your actions, or your reactions. Because for me, it starts with other women. Every time I'm coaching a woman about her dating and relationship life, we always circle back to friendships with other women. We always go back and say, if you're not sharing in this world with all of us, how then will you be opening yourself up to love? How will everybody else know you? It's time to get really public in your private life. And when you feel something coming on, like a compliment, or you want to share with somebody and that's bubbling up inside of you, if you want to know when that's appropriate, it's always appropriate. Yes? It is never too soon to make a connection. It is never too soon to go deep. Bless you. You're the one that gives your all. You're the one I can always. So, the 3 tips I want to give you today to quickly take with you to start using right away. Number 1 is what we just talked about, knowing that you are one woman 24/7. And I learned a long time ago that if I was going to have a business, which I do, and I'm so proud of my success because I built it every single second of the way all by myself, I decided that I wanted to do it as me. I wanted to be a woman doing my job. And even though matchmaking and love and dating and relationships sounds like a very feminine job, and it is, I'm still dealing with lawyers, contracts. I'm dealing with men that are extremely educated and powerful and far more successful financially than I will ever be. But I wanted to do it as a woman and stand side by side with them, not toe to toe. And the success, once I decided to do it that way, has been extraordinary. So when I'm sitting down with a male client, I'm getting to know him, it feels really personal. In fact, one night I was interviewing a client, and a friend of mine came by the hotel. Now, she knows what I do for a living. This is really odd. She's known me for 15 years. She comes walking by the table and just in front of us, hi. And I'm in a meeting. And she kind of stood there waiting for an invitation. And soon she got the hint and she walked away. And the next day, I get a phone call from her. April, you were so rude. I can't believe I was there by myself and you didn't ask me to come sit down with you guys, you and your friend. And I said, that wasn't a friend, that was actually a potential client. No, it couldn't have been. You were touching his hand, you were giggling, you were, like, I heard you, I heard your warmth, I heard the things you were asking. It looked like you had known him forever. And I said, no, when you walked up, I had known him for about 15 minutes. And yes, he became a client that night. And yes, I got him married. So, don't compartmentalize your life. One woman, 24/7. My next tip. Every relationship that you have has value, and that value is never measured in time. So often we think that the women and men and people that we've known since we were little are the most important people in our lives. And sometimes they are. But sometimes that person you met 5 minutes ago is the most important person in your life right now. And allow that to unfold. Ariana talked about this on her video, if you heard her. She said, take the time to engage with people at your coffee shop, the dry cleaners. Don't just go through your day making these quick little ins and outs, right? Don't stick on your laser focus of your day and go in with, hello, thank you, yes, yeah, that'll be that'll 565. Stop and ask people how they're doing. If you really pay attention to their face, they're going to cycle through a million different emotions. There are moments in there that you can actually pick up on, and you can see when someone's in pain, when they're having joy. There's so much for you to know about people. And this is what creates connection and relationships. Relationships are relationship. They all have equal and extraordinary value, regardless of how they began or how long they last as well. Start expressing yourself in adjectives. When somebody asks you to describe yourself, please share and start with who you are, your core, your soul, who you are as a woman or a man, if there's any men left in the room. Yes? And when you're describing someone to someone else, please do them a favor and start with the adjectives with them as well. Instead of saying where you went, what you did, what you thought of that person, begin with who that person is. It does a great service to the people around you. And just know that everywhere you go, you are completely safe. The more vulnerable and open you are, the funny thing is, the more people come to your aid. The more people want to help you. The more you speak about, hey, I'm single. I'm looking to meet somebody. I'm ready. I'm open. The more people and the more the universe will start to conspire and help you and support you. Much like in business, right? Hey, I'm starting a business. Can anybody help? That's what everybody's learning today. If you can do this and master being that knowable, unmistakable woman, your life is going to be successful on every single level, and the rewards are massive. I wish you all super beautiful beginnings and extraordinary relationships. Thank you for letting me share.